Are you a creative freelancer in such fields as film, photography, web design, graphic design, illustration, 3D arts, or really just any facet of creative work? Maybe you're looking for a way to find new clients, or the clients that you do have are low-paying ones. Perhaps you want a way to stand out from the army of freelancers within your field. I have been a creative freelancer in all these fields, and I've also built online businesses that hire most of these freelancers on sites such as Upwork. I know both sides of the field well, and in this video, I'm going to show you how to play the game to win as a freelancer. What's going on, you creative beasts? This is JL Musi. In this video, I'm going to be showing you exactly why you're not making any money as a freelancer and how to fix that problem. So the first thing that I'm going to be showing you how to make more money as a freelancer is bringing more value to that client. And there's a little known business called Amazon that does this very, very well. And the little known part is just a joke. They're a huge online marketplace that is a huge disruptor of retail. And they actually do two things very well that us as freelancers can tap in and adapt and to our purposes and make more money. And that is saving time and upselling. So how do we actually do both of these? Why is it important, and how do we adapt it into our own fields? Okay, so first of all, your creative work is a smaller piece of a bigger picture. And even though a client might be trying to haggle you or play hardball with the price, there's something that they value more than money is their actual time. So if you can show that client that you could save them time, and you could act as a project manager, you could bring in more pieces together, right? Instead of you working on a smaller piece, you take a larger chunk of that project, you could take that out of their hands, and thus you could charge them more, right? So maybe you're a 3D artist and you're being approached by a client to do a 3D model. Well, instead of just doing the model, you can pick their brain, see what pretty much the situation is or the project is, and you could also rig, animate, and render out that animation, right? And charge that client more money. And if you can't actually do all these different things, that's okay. That's why you can build a network of other artists, right? And you could act as a project manager where either you're not doing any of the work and you're bringing all that together, or maybe you're just doing the modeling, for example, and you outsource the rest, and that way you're able to make more money on a bigger piece of the pie as far as the project. Maybe you're a web designer, you get approached for creating a website, and you find out that your client is really just building this website for lead generation. So instead of just selling them the website, you sell them the website, the landing page, the funnel, and the email marketing all in one package. You can outsource these other parts of the project. Thus, you can go ahead and add to your bottom line as a freelancer. Maybe you're an illustrator that's doing illustrations for a children's book. So instead of just doing the illustrations, maybe you go ahead and outsource the layout, the formatting of the book into different formats, such as paperback, such as the Kindle version, the EPUB version, and maybe even doing the Audible version. Maybe you just sell them the whole package of the different books in different formats, and that way you can bring them more value and take a larger share of that project's revenue. Next on the list, I'm going to show you how to increase your demand. And what do I mean by that? Well, in the world of freelancing, what I've noticed is that there's definitely a demand problem, right? There is way too many freelancers for the demand of work. And I've created job postings, and as soon as they go up, I have 100, 200 applicants, right? And that wave of freelancers can actually be overwhelming. And anytime that you're in a site such as Upwork, as much as I like it as a client, it kind of actually sucks as a freelancer because of all the competition, right? it's really hard to stand out on those sites. So sometimes it's actually better to build your brand as a freelancer away from these platforms. And once you have a bigger demand or a larger portfolio or just more things under your book, you can revisit these sites and really just stand out of the rest when applying to these jobs. So how do you stand out from the field of these freelancers and really just create a name for yourself? The first thing is build a brand as a creator, right? Publish content online, break down your process of all the artwork that you do. That's what I have been doing on my YouTube channel for a while, and I've actually gotten a lot of freelance inquiries just by posting my content online. So one of the things that you can do to get noticed is actually just create content or work around things that are trending, right? So for this example, this was a project that I did just as a personal project, right? But I actually went into Google Trends. Google Trends is a free tool that Google offers that really just shows the demand of certain topics or certain keywords over time. And at the time, I had created two of these characters, RoboCop, right? And they were in an animation, and I published them to YouTube, right? So the traffic around the time actually spiked because there was a new movie coming out. I actually took into advantage a trend that was happening at the time, and this video got me close to 130,000 views up to date. But more importantly, I got a lot of freelance work because as the movie was being promoted, a lot of the search engines actually picked up these keywords that I did for the video, and I got contacted by some clients that were looking for 3D work, and thus I took advantage of this strategy to actually just find work outside of sites like Upwork. The other thing that you can do to stand out as a freelancer is actually post to Facebook groups. Facebook groups are very powerful for freelancers if you create the right type of content. So I've been recently been diving into 3D printing, and I've been working on my own projects and actually creating the files myself, and also doing the 3D printing myself and all the added work that goes on with 3D printing. But I also been documenting all my process, and in that process documentation, once I have those videos done, I would post them to Facebook groups, right? And I've been getting a lot of inquiries and just really a lot of freelance offers to create models for 3D printing just by me documenting my work and posting my work to these Facebook groups. Last on the list is get creative with licensing your work. Sometimes, especially when we're starting out, we really want to work, we have clients lined up, but they're not really offering good payment, right? Or a good wage, but we really want that work, and their offer is lowball, but it's very, very tempting because it's actually not that bad, right? It might be on the lower range of what we're willing to accept. So sometimes you can get a little bit creative with the licensing of your work, right? So instead of just giving them perpetual rights to that client to use your work, you just sell them a license, right? You will take a lower commission, right? Or a lower rate, but you tell that client, look, I'm only going to sell you a license of this product. So with this license, you can do whatever you want, but ultimately I hold all the rights to do whatever I want with this digital file on my end. So maybe you're a graphic designer and you created a set of elements. So instead of just giving them all the rights, you sell that client a license for that lower fee. And then you take that same content and you sell it on a stock site such as Shutterstock. And Shutterstock is not the only website that does this. Envato has a huge network of websites that really just sell any type of creative content, from WordPress templates to code to 3D models to vectors, to illustration, to stock footage and photography. So there are a lot of places, and I'm gonna go ahead and link some of those in the description down below, where as a creative freelancer, you could actually charge the client, right? Just sell them the license, but also take that same product and upload it to one of these sites. And I actually did this as well with a 3D model. I had a client approach me, and they were doing some animations for YouTube, and their offer was on the lower end. So I sold them a license to use the model, but then I turned and went ahead and uploaded my model into a site called TurboSquid, and I was able to compensate or really just make money on the back end by selling that asset pretty much twice. That's all the information that I have for you folks. Let me know what you thought of the video and any tips and strategies that you do have of generating more money as a creative freelancer. Until we meet again, folks, I will catch you next time.